Hello class, welcome to week 4 of POL310, Environmental Policy. Students have generally been very good at incorporating readings beyond the textbook to buttress and support their views. Good job. For those of you who have not done this, please do so to avoid possible penalties to your grade for the discussion questions. Remember to answer each question effectively, you will usually have to include multiple sources. I would suggest that you focus your attention on 2 to 3 sources that you feel are best able to back up your views. I urge you to use some mixture of readings and multimedia such as videos as you provide your answers. In terms of the initial post for discussion question 1, climate change, choose one of the following scientific organizations based on your last name. If your last name begins with an A through G, then choose the findings offered by NASA. If it begins with an H through N, then choose the findings offered by the EPA. Finally, if your last name begins with O through Z, then research the findings offered by the IPCC. Now be sure to review their research on climate change by clicking on the clickable links. Then cite 3 specific changes to the environment that are being driven by climate change or that may result from future climate change. Finally, use the new Climate Economy Global Action Plan to discuss policy recommendations that address 2 of the following issues concerning climate change mitigation. These include adaptation, mitigation, and sustainable development policies, which could be applied in planning responses to environmental challenges driven by climate change. Remember, the initial post is due by the end of day 3, and peer responses are due by the end of day 7. In terms of the initial post for directions for discussion question 2, land management policies and habitat, begin by comparing and contrasting the missions of the National Park Service, the U.S. Forest Service, and the Bureau of Land Management. Then explain how each federal land management agency uses their associated statutes and policies to conserve and/or preserve critical habitat. As part of this answer, be sure to determine if habitat protection is a major part of that agency's mission. After that, explain how the National Environmental Policy Act, the Wilderness Act, or the Endangered Species Act have helped or hindered these agencies in their efforts to protect critical habitat. Please remember that you should select only one piece of legislation to discuss, just one. Please remember that week 5, our last week of class, is just around the corner. Wow. And with it, your final paper, which constitutes over 30% of your grade. I suggest that you use your spare time in week 4 to complete your research and prepare for the final paper. Finally, please remember to complete the week 4 quiz by the end of day 7. Good luck, and please let me know if you need anything.